Done?
Yep.
Very good. Okay, we are live. Welcome, we're ANZCRL Combined Racing League. I'm your host, Woody Lizard, and on board here at the moment is Dado Racer. Hey, Dado, how are you, mate?
Good, thanks, Woody. I'm happy to be here. Been a while, but I'm looking
Yeah,
forward to it tonight.
beautiful. So this is session 2 of our Zhuhai International Raceway of the Teams Endurance Challenge. We are about to start the final session here. It's 7 p.m. in game time, and obviously we're going to have Nürburger here taking control of your car, Dado,
Yes.
and I could say my car.
And it's your car. Here we go.
And also in the GT4s, we'll have a Logical Sports in the Porsche. You can just see him go out there at the same time. 4 seconds later, you can already see now that Sado's already taken off in the 15 border racing as well. So that's race on for the outright class victory of the LMP3s. And then the battle for the GT4s is going to be intense. We've got a 13-second wait time for Commander Jim in the Aston Martin. And then obviously Dark Racing 40 taking control of the 59 team CRCP Janetta. They striked a little bit of trouble there last night. Actually, was leading most of the race, but came in for a full tank of fuel. They got their strategy a bit wrong there, Dado.
True.
Just to sort of let you know, though, a lot of the guys, when even the commentary, we actually had it all wrong as well. We're going through from our Le Mans race previous weekend, where the fuel level that they finish on is the fuel level that they start on. But this particular series, we didn't introduce that fuel rule, so it was basically they're all starting on full fuel tanks. As Sado just finds the grass out there, you don't want to be touching those curbs too much, Dado. You don't know all about that.
I do indeed. But Sato will be hard charged. I'll put money on that.
Yeah, so this is the victory, actually the chase for the championship really at the moment. The 80 Avumi Tweaks racing car out in front with Nürburger at the moment. Obviously really needs to take victory here tonight if they want to challenge the 15 border race in Ligier of Sado and Dado Racer of Dark Racing 40 just behind. As the championship finishes next weekend at Rapuna Park. And currently at the moment there's an 8-point gap between the two, and with a 4-point difference from first to second, 40 points for a win and 36 for second. It's very important that the Avumi Tweaks Racing tries to capitalise on this event here at Zhuhai International circuit.
And a big thank to Nürburger for taking this on. But
well, that's it. He's doing a double stint.
He's loving the car.
He's loving it. He's absolutely can't come to it like duck to water, really.
Exactly.
And he's obviously did a tremendous job. We did hear earlier, so some of you viewers might be thinking, why is he running a GT4 and then jumped into an LMP3? Well, it's just to keep the cars on the grid at the moment. We actually, a team's challenge, we really want to make sure that drivers don't double stint if we can avoid it. It's
exactly,
all about having two drivers in the one car. And we've obviously got one driver at the moment, the youngest driver there on the grid at the moment, XD Cookie, and he's in the 83 Grupo and ANZCRL Racing, I think it is. It's the Green Devil, really. And yeah, he's doing a great job out there for his first run.
Isn't he what?
Obviously had some. Yeah, he's showing a little bit of pace there, Dado, and he was really respectful to all the other drivers throughout the first session on Saturday night.
Oh, I agree. I was in that, and he was great.
Yeah, so he's obviously got a lot of good racecraft there for a young man.
Yep.
And the only thing that we've found out that really killed him was he went for his pit stops, and he just had some troubles obviously with the pit settings, and they weren't changing tyres or filling up the car, so we had to make a lot of unscheduled pit stops to try and get that sorted.
True.
And here's his battle now. We're looking at Dark Racing 40 in third position at the moment, driving alongside the man that's obviously changed into the LMP3 of Nürburger in the number 59, Janetta of the team CRCP, just chasing down Commander Jim at the moment.
Yeah. Well, you know, Darky, he jump to anything and be quick.
Yeah, and this Aston Martin, geez, it was good under the hands of Night Havoc last night as well. So he did a tremendous job. Talking about Night Havoc, he's actually running again. He's actually jumped ship. He's jumped teams in the GT4s. The fan favourite car of the Mustang. He got so excited after we did an onboard a lap on the Mustang last night, and he thought, I want a piece of that. I don't want to just watch it. I want to actually take it for a drive. So he's in that at the moment, and doing his best that he can do. But as you can see, the XD Cookie at the moment, 9th at the moment outright. But obviously he had a 1 minute 20 grid hold time for their time compression based on the final positions from last night, as he's now just taken a position of that Mustang that we're talking of, Dark Lord, and you can just see the leading LMP3 cars just coming on through now. So he almost lost a lap, Cookie, with that wait time. As you can see, a 1 minute 30 for a lap, and he had to wait 1 minute 20, so he had a 10-second buffer.
I can see Sato's made his way up to the back of Nürburgring now.
Yeah, he's going to put some pressure on Nürburgring as well. Nürburgring not 100%, well, he's enjoying the car, but he's not seasoned in the car. So it's going to be interesting. We may need to look at this battle here at the moment if we can find Nürburgring or Sato Dado, because it looks like there could be a change for the outright lead at the moment. And Sato's just putting heaps of pressure. The car was fairly taily during the practice session before this race we saw, so he's obviously tried to dial out those gremlins. As the flames come out of there, Vumi Tweaks Racing.
That looks good.
Janetta. Into the twilight here over in China.
Sato's a bit wide there.
You can see how much you lose time when that happens.
He was. Hang on, look out here. All
so
good.
as you can see, they're just putting a lap there on Cookie, and you can just see his awareness, his presence of knowing what's happening as well. He's just unbelievable. We've seen so many members before come their first time, and sometimes they run off the road, but to credit to Cookie, he's still on the black tarmac, even letting these faster cars through. So
he's really got a handle on it.
Yeah, he can only get better. As we just talked to the commentators, Curses, he's pushed a little bit wide out of turn 9, I think, or turn 10 there.
Still controlled it well, but
it might be turn 8. Yeah, he did well.
Let's check. This is good, but
yeah, we'll keep an eye on here at the moment. We can have a look at our timers there, the GT4s. There's a little bit of a battle for second and third, but really this is where everyone wants to know what's happening here for the actual lead of the race. And Nürburgring is starting to settle in now.
Yeah, he's holding his own.
You've got to remember, he only had a 4-second gap to Sato, and we know Sato is fairly fast on any given lap, but consistency sometimes is downfall for Sato.
That's probably our better side, is that Nürburgring is very steady.
This is definitely going to test him though, with one of the fastest men of ANZCRL Combined Racing League right on his tail at the moment. Currently the lead of the championship too of this number 15 Border Racing Ligier. It's like a ton of bricks have hit the nose of that car. It's got a big dent in the middle of the Ligier.
True.
They say it adds to the downforce and the avoids the aero wash. I'm not too sure, but anyway, it's doing him good jobs here at the moment for Sato, being behind the Vumi Tweaks Racing.
True.
Of Nürburgring.
What I'm seeing here, Woody, is Sato seems to be pushing a bit harder. He's gone off the track slightly, whereas Nürburgring is still driving in a comfort zone, which from my point of view is a good thing.
Definitely, and we're talking about high temperatures here, around about 50 degrees track temperature, as Nürburgring just a warning the car in front of him at the moment of the faster cars coming on through. He doesn't want to get held up. I think this may be, is that Darky that he's just putting a lap on there? In the 59, no, 114, sorry, that's actually the of Simo
Yeah, Simo,
Racing.
that is. Yeah.
So Simo currently fourth in class. Not doing a bad job at all, and running his own race at the moment. Hopefully the top three there in class will come back to him. He had a 21-second wait time before he could actually start the race.
Yep.
Now this is the I really think this man here, Jetto 13, we need to keep a little eye on.
I agree.
He had a 52-second wait time, so he's a little bit. He has dropped a little bit of time, but I think once we come into our scheduled pit stops that the guys are going to do, we'll see something happen here. I think with this P51 Sim Sports team.
Well, I know for one thing, because I was with him today, and he said I won't be holding back. I'm going to give everything I've got and see what happens.
Yeah, and that's what we like to see at ANZCRL. All our members having a good time, giving it a good red hot go. We obviously take it serious. We don't obviously like to just freely punt people off, but geez, we can race hard when the time comes.
Totally.
As well, because we take this pretty seriously, and obviously we're helping a lot of new members come up to speed at the same time. As we can also, one of his perfect example is our new youngest member of XD, Cookie, as he's slowly going, threading his way through the GT4 field. He had to wait 1 minute 20 before he could actually start this motor race in this final session. And he'll be getting valuable, great experience here right now, getting through and passing these GT4 cars nice and cleanly, Dado.
Absolutely, mate, because he's not just racing any race, he's racing some top drivers here, and this is a great effort.
As you see that there, to me, just seeing how he just pulled it up and didn't actually try and dive into the corner, and just give him respect to the GT4, and then use his power out of the turn 10.
Sensible.
He's very sensible as well. He hasn't ruined his race, and he hasn't also ruined, I think what we were saying, Simo's race behind him there. Actually, that was Dark Racing 40, I think it was, actually behind him, that he actually put a lap, not put a lap on, but actually overtook. He's Matty Seeking. We've just seen Matty Seeking. He's the leading car of the, I should say Matty Seeking, the Logical Sports. It was Matty Seeking last night.
Yeah.
The Logical Sports, the leader of the GT4 in that Porsche.
Great drive too.
And oh, look at Sato, almost touching the back of Nürburgring. And
It's pushed him a bit wide. Yes.
I think he took as much brake pressure that he could actually push down on that left foot of his to try and stop it. He's having a look down the inside now, and he's made it stick there at turn 7 at the hairpin. But Nürburgring's fighting back for up for the run up down the inside. Will he hold it there into turns 8 and 9? I'm sure he can.
Oh yeah, nice move.
Now that is a beautiful move.
Yes.
That there, my friends, everyone watching that, you can just see what Nürburgring did. He showed Sato the outside of the track can be without touching. It was a sensational move of authority, and you're seeing one great racer there in Nürburgring right at this moment, as Sato again trying to get a nice run down up into the final corner. 14 turns around this Suhai circuit, 4.3 kilometres.
We did have a bit of a chat in Nürburgring and me, saying if Sato's going to push her hard, too hard, let him go and follow him. But at the moment, I don't think he needs to.
No, I
think
he's
got the pace.
He almost threw that conversation out the window, mate. He fought back really hard there at turns 8 and 9 and really stamped his authority on this race. So Sato's in for a big fight here.
Now, also, Woody, what about strategies and tyres? This is a big question in my mind. I think most are running softs. I'm pretty sure Jetto is. I'm not sure about Sato, but we are running hards.
Right, well, yeah, no one knows what tyres or anyone was running. I knew exactly what you guys were running last night, and I did not even let that one slip throughout the coverage because I know that it's a big talking point of tyres. It's really a tyre race here tonight because the high temperatures, and we don't know what Sato and Dark Racing 40 decided to run here on that number 15 car. Oh, as Nürburger just has to make his way out of the way of that Mustang. As Sato has a look down the inside, this could get very
I think he's got it.
dangerous. He's got that move done. Sato, nice move by Sato, but well done by Nürburger, not closing the door. But he's fighting back. He's going to have the outside though of the final corner. It's going to be hard for Nürburger. As he's still fighting hard as Sato, and they're both rubbing panels. I think this is where the Avumi Tweaks car will be just now conceding that second spot now and just trying to see if he can follow Sato and now maybe reverse strategy and put that pressure on Sato and try and force him off the track now.
Exactly. Better check some of the other boys.
Yeah, we may as well have a look at the what's happening with also. We may as well have a look at the leading GT4 car of the Logical Sports of the P50 Sim1 Sim Sports. You can just see now he is just being passed by the LMP3 car of XD Cookie. So XD Cookie now is in his rightful spot of 4th outright.
Excellent. In
that LMP3 after he's had to have that long wait time of 1 minute 20 before he could start this race based on his finishing time from last night. Would have felt like an eternity, mate. He could have probably had an ice cream before he started there, Dado.
At least. It would be an eternity. I had to wait a minute at Le Mans and that seemed like forever.
Oh yeah, things go through your head. Geez, you can just see on the map, you can just see the cars. There's no one on the map because the map doesn't extend any more than where near you are, and there's no one near. It's like a ghost town. But anyway, and Simo currently 4th, trying to chase down Commander Jim. There you can just see Commander Jim in the Aston Martin just left our screen there in front in 3rd. Could be a good battle between the Mustang and the and then the Simo's car. I've just lost the number there. What is it? 114, the Optimal Motor Racing Janetta?
Not sure.
I think you got it right. Nice and early.
Yep.
Yeah, as you can just see though, his ping rate wasn't the best, Simo. So you can just see the car sort of crabbing around a bit on the track. So that's just his ping to us. So we may just go off him at the moment, so we're not putting any strain, and maybe select another car. And oh, here we go, the fan favourite of the Mustang. Obviously Devil X, the man that should have been driving this and probably would have given it a good red hot go, I reckon, here tonight.
He does know the car too. You can't just jump into that and go fast because it's a beast to drive.
Oh, it definitely is a beast to drive, but I think they were roughly around about 17 seconds off of Simo Racer. As you can see now, there's a 56 second gap. But I think Devil X, I think, probably could have done a pretty good job. He seems pretty comfortable in this Mustang, the older version of the GT4 Mustang, actually, the old 302R.
Correct.
Boss Mustang. Very heavy car, but expect good things at Rapuna Park though, Dado. I think this car could really get a podium at Rapuna Park next week.
Possibly, yeah. Look, I enjoy driving that car. I've had a couple of goes with Tim, and I really enjoy driving it, but it just won't stop. But once you get used to that, it sounds fantastic to drive when you're in the cockpit inside.
Yeah, and that's the biggest thing. You give away so much braking performance to your competitors, but you try and outweigh that with the extra horsepower and that.
Yep.
At Rapuna Park being a short track where horsepower is going to actually help getting out of those corners. And use the horsepower to try and rotate the car through the corners as well. A bit like a V8 supercar, Dado, I think. Just
it is quite similar, actually.
Yeah, controlling the actual turning with your right foot is a little bit of an art, and I think these guys, after having 3 rounds in the Mustang, as we were just talking about it, as Dark Lord has munched the front end of that Mustang.
That's a
Just got to
pit.
be careful. There's the LMP3s coming on through. I think of
Yep.
actually the class
He's
leader.
good to go. Oh, that's really
So here he
that's
goes.
that's hammered. I'll be
So
I'll
we
be
do
pitting.
have a yeah, he's pitting, but we do have a minimum requirement, a 70% race distance they must complete to be able to gain full points based on where they finish. So we basically calculated that the GT4s will run roughly around about 53 to 54 laps tonight. So he needs to do at least 37 laps, Dark Lord, to be able to give full points to his the team that he's helping out at the moment. If he doesn't make that number, it's 50. He gets half points. So fifth points, he'll get half of the points that normally gets given to fifth if he doesn't make that 70%.
Well, knowing Dark Lord, I think he'll repair it. He's probably getting a taste for this car now. He's right. I'll fix it up, and I'm going to drive this to the end now.
Yeah, and we saw him last night, though, piloting the P51 Sim Sports number 11 Janetta LMP3 car to 3rd position. He was 1 lap down, basically, on that in that session there. He had to stop 1 extra time for some reason, so that sort of pulled him out of the running. But other than that, he was doing a pretty good job. As you said, Dado, right on the money, into pit lane.
Sensible.
Comes the Pin Electron Ford Mustang.
He'll be there for a tad.
Got to slow down to 60 kilometres an hour before that mark right there. Otherwise, a time penalty will be applied to the car or drive-through at the worst case scenario. As you can see, they'll just be repairing damage here at the moment. I think if he fills up the fuel as well, he may get to the end as well. He should get to the end if he does that.
The fuel has gone up.
Yeah, so that's a good thing. So that's his stop done for the rest of the race, so you can get to the end.
True.
Mandatory stop of 3 stops throughout the event. So they already did 2 stops last night in that car. So it was only the 1 stop that they needed to do tonight. So there you go. His mandatory stop's done, and he can now try and knuckle in for the next hour or so to the end.
Sato's pulled out 5 seconds.
Yeah.
28 and a half.
So he's absolutely gapping them at the moment and putting in some nice times, 28.5. So he's over a second quicker than Nürburgring that previous lap.
Looking at that, Woody, I'd say he must be on softs, but after 15, here we go.
There you go. There's that inconsistency that we're talking about of Sato.
I'll tell you what it is. That's those rear tyres are cooked. I reckon he's on softs. Here comes Nürburgring. He's itching to get that spot.
So those rear tyres are like a marshmallow to a campfire, Dado.
Exactly. And it's the left rear that cooks. And as soon as you go into a right-hand corner, that's exactly what will happen. So now Nürburgring's got to put the pressure on him and try and push those tyres into over 100 degrees, and you'll have this spot back.
Yeah, it sounds very tasty, mate. Do you like a pink or a white marshmallow, Dado?
I'm more white.
More white?
Yeah.
I think I'd go the pink though. I think at the moment.
Good. Well, that probably sounds
either
more
way
like
though. Yeah, that's it. At the moment, sitting on my butt, commentating and not racing. You can call me a little bit of more of a pink skirt at the moment. But anyway, these things happen.
Now listen, I've heard talk. I was in pit lane earlier. That after that bad accident you had at Nürburgring, you did something to your back. You may be a chance for the final round.
Well, I think I can take a flight over the ditch, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to hopefully. Well, I won't say hopefully. I'm a very good chance to obviously take control of the 80 Avumi racing car, Tweaks racing car again, over at Rapuna Park next weekend. So yes, Dado, I'm looking forward to maybe having a few celebratory beers after the race with you, and we'll see what happens.
Good stuff.
But there's no love lost here in the with the viewers. They absolutely love having Dado in the comms box. There's hearts going everywhere.
Rubbish.
In the comments, so keep it up. And anyone else in the commentary, if you know, both myself and Dado, we are from New South Wales. We'd love to know what the score of the state of origin, what's happening. So anyone there, please be truthful. Don't throw some weird scores out there. And if you want to post them up, we don't care. And keep us informed how the game's going. So Sado's just after that spin though, he's still managed to get, oh well, look at this, he's actually on his fastest lap at the moment after the first sector. He's the fastest first sector for him in this race.
True.
So obviously he's just thinking, well, bugger it, I'll have these half spins, but I'll just keep going and I'll cook these tyres until they're worn out and I'll come and pit.
That's how
Maybe
Sado,
that's their strategy.
That's how Sado drives. He just hammers it.
So here we got the leading of both classes. Here we got the leading Porsche of Illogical Sports and Sado in the leading LMP3 car, just passing one another here on their run up to turn 10. Or turn 11, I should say, sorry.
I'll be back in 1 sec, Woody, is that okay?
No worries. And
leave it on logical?
To see. Yeah, leave it on logical. We'll give this this P51 Simsoft Porsche a good look, and we've obviously got the Avumi car in second position outright, going to put a lap on him right now as we speak.
Yep.
Nice little move down the straight, hasn't held him up at all. And we've also got XD Cookie coming on down, so he's doing a great job here tonight. He's obviously looks like he actually dropped a spot. He was in fourth, so he's actually has to make this move back on a logical. So this is actually for position in race on outright position. So obviously Cookie wants to make this move nice and smooth, which he's doing. He looks like he's going to take a run down the inside into turn 6 and then into 7 at the hairpin, where there's a massive big grandstand there on their left as they're running down. What a great view that would be, sitting at the stand. There'd be a lot of action there into turn 7. Obviously this circuit we had up before was designed by an Australian who actually designed the Adelaide circuit for the Formula 1, and in the whole design of Zhuhai was actually for Formula 1 as well. So a little bit of knowledge there. It was a Michael someone, I think it was. Thank you, Matty, for giving us an update there of half-time. New South Wales, it looks like, up 18-0, so go the Blues. As a Logicals, just having a nice little run here. Obviously just extending the gap a little bit. Dark Racing 40 is obviously now taken second position after starting. I'm just having a quick look to see where he started this session here. We've just got obviously our race director at the moment, just having a quick little break, but obviously we're having a look at Dark Racing 40. He started third, 19 seconds off the lead in that team CRCP Janetta, and he is now reduced that gap by around about 6 seconds to around 13 seconds now. So that 19-second gap that he started, that he had to wait for, he's starting to slowly catch Illogical Sports in the Porsche of the P51 Sim Sports. They're both representing the GT4 and the LMP3. So this is the man here. He's helping out Nürburgring. Normally Talon 02 is piloted in this car. with Nürburgring. So Dark Racing 40 doing double duties, as we saw him actually putting the challenge to Dado Racer in the first session and coming to him really hard at the end, where Dado's tyres were pretty much shot and Dado had the better quality tyres. So there you go.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I was watching the timing. You kept edging.
yeah, and that's what we said at the top of the broadcast last night. Both me and Illogical were saying this is really a tyre race more than anything. It's about managing the tyres, and I think the guys that can, the teams that can do that the best will obviously gain the better result for the team.
True. Well, this will be interesting come pit times. See what happens.
Well, Darky at the moment with low fuel compared to a Logical, I think. So they haven't started, I don't think, on full tanks in that Janetta. So he's gaining the time early on. So this is where the strategy all comes on. You think, well, how much longer am I going to be in pit lane to actually fill up the needed fuel to get to the end? Can they benefit from a lower fuel run early on when the tyres are really giving them good grip, and try and bridge that gap nice and early to put that pressure? So you'd say, well, Logical, as you said, you just mentioned about yesterday when you were driving the Avumi Tweaks racing car, you were looking at the timings and you look at the times, you see it reducing, and it makes you push that little bit harder, or you lose your concentration, and next thing you know, you have a little half spin, or you push too hard and you actually overdrive the car, which costs you a lot more time.
Yep.
And that's what Matty was basically saying in this Porsche last night. Just ran his own race, and that's all he did, and came out on top as well, bringing the car home first in the first session. It was the first car to pit actually, like yesterday in that first session.
Yeah,
pitted on
very
lap
early.
2, I think it was.
Very early.
Yeah. As Sato's about to put a lap now on Jetto, so they're not hanging around this Ligier team. The Border Racing now. Sato's had a great history with this car. Done some good things in it.
Imola,
and
I think he won that, did he?
He won the Imola 4-hour, I think it was, and obviously wants to continue on, and that's why he wanted to choose his car for the Team's Endurance Challenge. As soon as the LMP3 car was announced that it would be running in our Team's Championship this year. Last year it was the GTEs. Oh, as he has a big dive down the inside of that Mustang, and I think Dark Lord only just saw him at the last minute then. So just update you, Dado, as you left. I think we've got the update of 18-0 at half time for New South Wales. If that's should be putting a smile on your face as well.
Yeah, easy peasy. It is good. I've got the TV on as well. Yep.
Yeah, so look at the battle up front there, just up into turns 9 and 10. There's plenty of cars going on just in front of Nürburgring at the moment. Even maybe the man Sato's trying to put a lap on a couple of GT4s right in the middle of them. And that...
He got through there nicely.
Is Simo getting a little bit taily coming on out. But this is a battle between Simo. We may want to have a look at Simo and Commander Jim in that GT4 just behind that they just passed, because this is battle for position for third, and Commander Jim looks like he's given that up because Simo was behind him. So Simo's been able to catch Commander Jim and take him to third. The lights blaring of all the cars coming down the main straight.
Looks good.
Into turn 1. Really tricky little complex coming up here, up into turn 4 and 5. So easy to get a time penalty if you push too hard.
The track itself is quite a technical track to drive, and to drive fast, I found.
Yeah, so we were just saying earlier that the track was actually designed by the guy that designed the Formula 1 circuit in Adelaide. And that was Michael McDonough, I think it was.
Yep.
From the company Kinhill Engineers, I think it was. So bit of an Australian flavour here at Zhuhai. So that's obviously a good reason for ANZCRL Combined Racing League to race here as well.
True enough.
Such a wide circuit too, isn't it?
It is.
It's a very smooth track as well. Very good for high downforce cars. They can really utilise their downforce.
Yep.
Really stiff cars and generate as much mid-corner speed as they can get.
Okay, identical fuel to the front runners.
The biggest thing as well is the final corner though. We think we mentioned it last night, and as soon as we mentioned it, about 2 or 3 laps later, a car got up onto the high curb at the exit of turn 14 and looped it down towards the inside.
Yes.
So it's a corner there that can catch a few people out.
For sure. Well, I'm looking at Sato's times. It's pretty remarkable. Whether he's got softs or hards on, I don't know how he's doing softs 24 laps in. I don't know how he's doing it on hards.
Yeah, on a 28.026 at the moment. That's the fastest lap of the race currently. And what we just witnessed in there previously was a 28.235 done by his teammate Duck Racing 40 in the session last night. So he's absolutely blitzed, and he's set this track on light now, even in the dark. So
he's coming up. He's coming up to Jetto now, and Jetto's not going to give way here too easy, I don't think. He doesn't want to go down a lap. Look.
No. Jetto's been doing a good job. He's filling in at the moment for Commander Cirrus in the P51 Sim Sport Janetta LMP3. So he had to wait 52 seconds as well. So knowing that they're doing 1 minute 28s, 29s a lap. So it hasn't given him much time to try and to salvage that gap at all. So we're 37 minutes into this motor race. So, and it's just about to get lapped now. Oh, as Sato has let the rears go again. But they're only short spins. They're not going to cost him too much.
True. But are those rears cooking? That's my question.
Well, that's all the enticement that Nürburgring needs. He doesn't need much there. He's like a greyhound, really. You'll see that rabbit dangling in front of him, and he'll chase this thing down and try and come on top by the end of this race.
Well, we did have talks, and we based our race on this scenario. Whether it's going to work is another thing.
That's right. And we're talking how these cars are running fairly stiff, and they're using the aero to try and keep the car balanced through the corners, and they can catch you out. If you catch up to one of these GT4 cars mid-corner, that aero wash can all of a sudden just take away that grip from these cars, and that's what Sato may be fighting as well as the tyres.
Look at this, look.
As he runs wide again, so it won't be long if he keeps doing this. He may start getting some time penalties starting to happen as well.
Might check that. I don't think there would
well,
be.
It's
nothing.
There's none there at the moment. If he's got a time penalty, it'll be red underneath his position there, where he is in the moment, up the top left. True. So there's nothing there at the moment. But that last sector, 1.5 seconds slower than his best, so he's really hurting at the moment.
Nürburgring's got back to 5.5 seconds, 6 now.
So you can just see that spin that he did. He was the slowest LMP3 car out on the track. 3 seconds he gave to Nürburgring. So it's what we're sort of saying, you know, like you can be fast, but if you do a couple of spins a lap, you're gonna not do too well because your tyres as well are going to
Well,
cook. Here he goes. He's running wide again.
It's
And
exactly
he's lucky he hasn't looped it.
what I was kind of predicting in my mind, but come on, Nürburgring, put your foot into it. I shouldn't be biased.
Shouldn't be biased as when you're in the commentary booth, but we don't mind because you put in a big effort, a big drive last night, Dado, to take victory in that first session.
Yeah, I was pretty happy.
Outfoxed them all, mate. So here we go again, just to see what happens. As Sado's car looks like it's just not happy at all.
No, it's changed.
I think he really needs. Yeah, it's changed, definitely. I think he needs to try and get into those pits, and the window's almost open. I think he should be able to get to the end with this 50 minutes remaining.
I reckon lap 25 would be on the cusp. 27, you could do it easy. But then
so
again,
he's got the time to get to the end if he fills up the tank.
He has, but those tyres, if he's doing one stop, putting a new set of tyres on, they're going to be really sketchy at the end of the next session. At the end of the race.
Are they going to put the hards on? That's the thing. They might know that they started with the softs and maybe go the hards, but they might be also thinking that now it's gone night, that the temperature in the track may start reducing as well. So they may look at still running softs for this later half of the session.
Possibly. We put that into the equation too. So we decided to do a couple of strategies there, depending on how the race unfolds.
But look, every time that Nürburgring can come out of a corner and see Sado in front of him, it just makes him lick his lips and really get. It does help, and just gets excited to know. And that, look, I am still putting that pressure on Sado, even though I can see those lap times a lot faster than me. I am actually causing him to overdrive this car, and that's what it's like. Motorsport, it can be like a big game of chess, really, can't it, Dado?
Absolutely, mate. That's what we're playing here. It's a game of chess.
I can't play chess, mate, but I tell you what, motorsport, I love this sort of racing, the endurance.
This is how we play chess, Woody.
That's exactly it, with four wheels and a steering wheel.
Yes.
That's it.
Now, Darky, he's what? Still 8 seconds.
Mate, he's well and truly within striking distance of taking victory here this motor race, and what a feat it would be if he can actually win class in GT4s and have Sado win in the LMP3. We'll have a dual class winner of the LMP3 and the GT4. First time in this series.
Yeah.
So Darky would be definitely excited to try and catch the back of this Porsche, the P51 Sim Sports car of the Porsche. Over Logical Sports.
We know if anyone can do it, Dark Racing 40 can. He loves a challenge.
Oh, he definitely loves the challenge, mate, and he loves racing on a Sunday night. So he's got a very healthy little position where he is at the moment, waiting for the pit stops to start, because he's got no pressure from Simo behind him, and all he can do now is just look at the difference between him and Illogical.
Well, we'll be in the next couple of laps, 3 laps.
That's it. So
he's got to put a lot more fuel on.
Well, at the end of the day,
got 37.
Yeah, but they don't have to fill up the. Well, that's it. Logical can run a lot longer and then just get the number of fuel that he needs to get to the end. But I don't think it's going to be too much of a problem for Darky. I reckon it's only going to be probably a 3-second deficit that he's going to have for the extra fuel, maybe 3 or 4 seconds, and I think he's capable of actually bridging that on track as well. That gap, that time difference. The question is Illogical and Matty Seeking, are they planning just to run this car and just do a fuel stop and not actually change any tyres? Are they running on hards? Because
there was talk, and I think that's what they'd be doing.
Yeah, but he's still lapping in some fairly fast times. He's actually got the fastest lap of the race too in the
True enough.
I think no, actually it's not. It was a 141.156 by Lolux last night, so he's close to it.
Still.
With a 141.179, I think it was.
If he's doing that on hards, it's pretty good. Very good. Great to know, wouldn't it?
It would be great to know to have a pit lane reporter, but this Porsche really runs really well around now with the mid-fuel tanks. It's really evens itself out being a rear-engine car, and the fuel being in the front of the car. So it really does come to its own mid-fuel tank. So it's under the fuel tank. I think it gets 100 odd litres of fuel. So he's definitely into that. The lighter part of the running now, so the front end would start to get a little bit sketchy.
Yeah, a bit like
without having too much weight on the front anymore. That's it. So when they brake, they get a lot of rear end movement because all the weight from the back of the car wants to just come to the front of the engine with the engine, and having no fuel to sort of help alleviate all that.
Timo's at the pits. Yeah, he needs fuel.
So he definitely needs fuel there, mate. So this will get him to the end.
Yep. He's got himself into third.
Yeah, started fourth.
Jim's come in as well.
Was, okay. So yeah, they're both battling one another, those guys. So this is going to be a great battle near the end of this race, I reckon. I reckon for the rest of the race, actually, between the Aston Martin and the Ginetta.
Exactly.
As you can just see, the Ginetta just leaving now. So he's done. There's the Aston Martin. He's just been released. Or waiting to be released, I should say.
Hear that big Mustang there, didn't know where it was, but just saw it.
Yeah, beast of a car.
He's fueled up.
He's fueled up to go to the end as well, but obviously he had that little bit of a spin early on, which we caught, and he went in and got full fuel at the time. So he should get to the end. He's currently, probably a lap, 2 laps down maybe from Logical.
Well, I don't want to be nasty, but when you look at the front of Simo's car, it reminds me of Luna Park. You know, when you're walking, that big...
the big smiley face. Yeah. The big teeth.
Yeah. Look at it.
Pucker up, he's saying, you reckon? It's actually not a bad looking car either, I think, especially when you look at the side of it with the livery.
Here we go.
So Sadow's in, he's taken it nice and early compared to Nürburgring. He's going to extend it out a little bit longer.
He's there for a while, he must be doing tyres. You think? Because the fuel man had finished.
Yeah, it would have been. He hasn't hit any wall. We haven't seen him hit any wall. We've seen him have a couple of spins, but he hasn't hit anything. So he's definitely got probably some fuel and the tyres done at the same time. So
lap 32. That's
a
lot of
cookies there in front of him.
That's a lot of fuel. 73 litres, lap 32.
Well, yeah, it is. I think it's just playing safe, I think, as well.
Because I think I went in about lap 35 and only got about 58 litres in, so I'd say he's probably overfueled this fraction, but it's better to be safe, you're right.
That's right. You don't want to end up always. He's just ran wide.
Let's put him off.
Put him off a little bit. It's getting really dark here over in China at the moment. And we're in the city of Zhuhai, but what is it? The town is Jingding. It is in the Guangdong province of China. So there you go, Dado. In case you wanted to know.
I like information. That's very good.
where we are, all you do is you just live in hotels, mate, and you just go straight to the bar and just rack it up on the team tab and have a good night and then off to bed, don't you? Normally, you don't care where you are.
That's how I roll.
As long as the stiff scotch is poured,
Yeah.
you're happy.
That's it. All right.
Talking about our team's doing a great job here at the moment in China, leading the way on lap 33. Well, we can actually say it's actually lap 93 because they did 60 laps last night.
Correct.
So if we go talking about the full 3-hour race that it's going to be, we've got 40 minutes remaining. And Nürburgring's out in front, but he did have it was about 5 or 6 seconds, I think, that Sato had a lead before he pitted.
Yep.
So we'll see what that happens once Nürburgring pits. He's still got enough fuel to probably run another, probably 2 laps or so, if he wants to take it to the end.
Not what I did last night.
Last night you had to actually come in probably clutching it on the way in.
Yeah.
But, I don't think Nürburgring needs to run it that hard tonight. As Dark Racing 40, I think, is in the pits, taking his fuel in the GT4 car. Number 59, CRCP performance racing car.
Doing a good job too.
He's doing a great job.
Yep.
And he's hoping he can get out in front of Simo. Simo's just coming on through to somewhere. I think he is coming into turn 10. So Darky's got pretty good healthy lead actually over Simo, so it was a free pit stop for Darky. And Simo's doing a good job in the Ginetta. Started in 4th, he's gained 1 position over the Aston Martin of Commander Jim at the moment.
Yep. Seto's just come out, he's popped a 28.3 in, so
this is a big thing though for Simo too. They're 3 points behind the Mustang and 10 points behind the Aston Martin. So they want to try and finish up as high as they can here. They obviously, I think they had one round where the first round, I think they had some problems where they only got half points, I think. So they're doing a good job to still be 4th in the championship, I think it is. So if they can end up getting into actually 5th in the championship, if they can get in the top 3 at the end in class at Rapuna Park, they'll be pretty happy with that result.
For sure. Nürburgring's in. So that was a quick stop. We'll no tyres, I reckon.
Yeah, so he's just trying to take off any marbles or anything on those tyres. As you can see, Sato now just coming on through, so it's going to be close. I think Sato's going to have him into the first corner, but I think Nürburgring's gained a lot of time on him. He has gained a lot of time, so Nürburgring's tyres should be still up to temperature and into pressure into the zone as well, so he should be able to challenge Sato here nice and early.
Well, if Sato's on soft, Nürburgring needs to push him. So he uses those tyres up now. That's the only thing left, I think.
But at the end of the day too, he's got to make sure he's got some tyres under him as well. If he didn't put any tyres on, and you're saying that last night you had nothing to play with at the end, so
yeah, but true enough.
He's on
hards.
He's gonna have to. That's it. Yes.
You can cane them till the end of the race. It won't change. But you do just miss out a bit of lap time. So it'll be interesting. Logical's in.
So the class leader of GT4, he's got about a 45-second lead on Dark Racing. So this is going to be extremely close. I think a Logical may just be putting fuel in. We don't know if he's going to put tyres in. As you can see, the fuel coming in the front of the car there.
Yeah. You already had 22. You already had 22 litres, so you won't need a great deal. That's a quick stop.
Here we go, so you can just see the white dot of Dark Racing just past sector 2 coming up into turn 11 on your screen up the top right. So there he is. So he's got a bit of a battle. He's got a little bit of work to do in the next 36 minutes.
True.
If he wants to try and take victory here in the GT4 class. But either way, Nürburgring will be absolutely ecstatic with the result at the moment. They're currently trailing the Porsche, the P51 Sim Sports car by 2 points in the championship. So, yeah, they'd really like to finish on top here. So they'll actually, it'll reverse around the other way. If Matty Seekin and Logic will finish second, there will be a 2 point difference between those two if they swap them around. Going into the final round, but if it holds as it is, a Logical Sports and Matty Seekin will actually have a 6 point buffer over Nürburgring and Talent going into the final round.
Okay. Yeah, well,
so they'll need.
It was a big cost.
Rapuna.
It was a big cost to Nürburgring last night because he got his strategy mixed up and put too much fuel in. So he's back. Darky's back further than he probably should be, but that's racing.
Oh, that's it exactly. So they had to. What did they have to wait for? 19 seconds. So but basically round it to 20 seconds.
Yep.
And that's basically the gap as we speak now. So they're sort of still at square one from where they started the race. But we've still got 34 minutes remaining, so there's plenty to play out. And we know here at ANZCRL Combined Racing League that in this endurance racing, everything seems to happen with about 10 minutes remaining of the race.
That's normal.
It all comes together.
It is quite amazing, that.
It is.
Fifty 59 litres. He's home.
Yeah, they all should be good to go home. I don't think the experience of these guys now, they've been doing it for a long time, to finish off not having enough fuel at the end of the race is definitely a sin for everyone nowadays.
For sure. It doesn't hurt to have a bit more. It's not going to cost you that much time rather than stopping.
That's right.
In the middle of the track.
We always call it, if someone as Jetto comes in from his mandatory stop for fuel, well, it's not actually a mandatory stop, they already had completed their their mandatory stops, but he obviously needs to stop for fuel regardless. They can't do a 90-minute session.
I reckon he'll have about 58 litres. Maybe 50.
The Monster Energy Janetta definitely does look good on track.
Doesn't it?
And under normally with Commander Cirrus behind the wheel too, it's a hard car to keep behind you.
He's overfilled that to buggery. He's gone to full tank. That's cost him big time.
Yes, that's the reserve driver there coming in.
We did talk about that today in a bit of a practice session.
Up a little bit.
Yep. He won't be happy with that.
Looks like
would he?
He's obviously getting some engine damage repaired or something at the same time as well. At the end of the day, though, Jetto isn't really fighting for second. He knows he's that far behind. All he needs to do is finish third, and they'll be happy because XD Cookie.
True.
Well, I think XD Cookie is, I don't know if he's pitted at all, but 26 seconds behind Jetto. So this could get it. If Cookie's already pitted, actually no, it's just corrected itself. The time he's 50 seconds behind. Yep. So yeah, but that's a good little run for Cookie as well, just to be within striking distance of Jetto if he makes a few little mistakes at the final half hour of this race.
Great effort.
So 20-0 for New South Wales at the moment. By the looks of things, it must be getting close to full time. Full time must be around about 10 o'clock. I guess a bit before that.
Yeah, about
maybe 9:40.
59 minutes gone. 60 minutes gone. So that's another
about 20 minutes.
Yep.
20 minutes remaining or so.
There's no close battles at the moment, but we should jump on board someone.
I think we go on board one of the LMP3s. We went on board of the fan favourite of the Mustang last night, but if we go on board of either the Monster Energy car or even onto the man that currently leading the race, Sato, doing his thing out front. As he's running wide at the moment, probably doesn't want us to actually be jumping on board him at the moment.
Bad luck.
Bad luck. Let's get on board and do a lap. We've just started the lap now. So turn the volume up, guys, and enjoy this fast lap around the Zhuhai International Circuit. So there you go, a lap around the Zhuhai International Circuit on board the leader of this motor race in the number 15 border racing Ligier LMP3 car. And he's obviously got Nürburgring behind him in the 80 Avumi Tweaks Racing, 8 seconds behind. As you can see, the GT4 car, the headlights just in front that we saw while we were on board Sato putting a lap on. I think that was the car of Simo Racing, the 114 Optimal and Motor Racing car. Or we might say it was Dark Racing 40, I'd say, by the looks of things there.
I think it was.
GZ's Janettas sound pretty strong as well in that sound department.
They do.
The Janettas overseas in England as well. Obviously, they're an English car. They have a Janetta series as well. They have a junior series, and they support their drivers all the way up, and obviously in the GT3 categories as well. So they're pretty strong brand of car over in the UK.
Yeah, well, they seem a purpose-built race car, I think. Like when you compare it to an Aston Martin or the Mustang in there. That's why it performs so well.
And its bigger brother at the moment running second with Nürburgring and also third with Jetto.
Okay, it's getting down to crunch time now.
Yeah,
7 minutes to go.
Where it pays off to all the hard work, and at the moment Sato's still in front.
Yep, comfortably.
On lap 102 laps so far. We're coming up to the 3-hour mark, which will be the end of the race. They've been doing a solid job, Commander Jim. I think that they'd be happy to try and see if they can knock off the Janetta in front of them of Simo Racing 4 and Lolux.
They're not that far away.
No, they're not. They actually started second in this race with a 13-second hold time before they could start their race. So Commander Jim's just struggled a little bit in that Aston Martin.
Ginella's so agile compared to the other cars. I don't know about the Porsche, I haven't driven that one, but
He's doing some consistent times though, Commander Jim. Only 0.1 of a second off his best of his sector 1. So if you can manage just dropping around a 0.1 or so per sector and managing your lap times around you know, 0.3 of a second from your best lap after lap, you pretty much put yourself in the best position that you can for the race.
for sure. Sato's still getting the good lap times there. Nürburgring's holding his time. He's 8 and it's on at the 9 now.
Yeah, but as we saw late in Sato's session, where he started to have the car starting to move around a lot underneath him, so the race isn't over yet for Nürburgring. He's just got to keep a level head, and I hope the team is telling him that he doesn't have to push too hard. Just keep within that distance, and Sato may just start having problems with those tyres.
Well, it did show. If he's gone back to softs, I believe there is a good chance of that, but just have to see how it unfolds.
As on goes Jetto, goes by the Aston Martin, slips down the inside. It's great how you see the night when they hit the brakes. You can see the track behind them light up with the red lights as well in game.
Yeah.
All those little details that they put into the game. Getting fairly old, the game them now compared to some of the other games coming out. So hopefully we can see something similar to this maybe next year. Would be good, Dado, if we could. Maybe the Project Cars 4 comes out to how Project Cars 3 probably should have come out.
I'm sweating on it. But in saying all that too, I mean, for the age of the game, it's pretty remarkable.
Yeah, it still gives us a lot of enjoyment on console, so that's what it's all about.
It still gives you things other games don't give you.
That's right, exactly.
Jetto's put a good time in there.
At the end of the day too, we've got a good bunch of blokes here at ANZCRL Combined Racing League that turn up to race every Sunday night from around 7 o'clock. So you can find us over at our website at aus-nzcrl.weebly.com, or if you're on Facebook, just do a search of ANZCRL for into the groups. Answer the 3 questions and come and join in, because the next series, which will be all coming up during this week, I think probably on Wednesday this week will be announced, will be the V8 Supercars America series, where we will go to 5 of some of America's iconic racetracks, taking the Aussie V8s around for some fantastic racing. And we're looking forward to starting that. I believe that starts on the 24th of July. So we have actually we have Super 2s on the Saturday night, and we have the Supercars on the Sunday night. So it's a 2-division series, and definitely something to look forward to. So keep
great series.
Definitely. So if you haven't joined our group before, or you haven't seen our website, do a Google search for ANZCRL Combined Racing League. Jump on the website, and as I said, it should be all live, all the details up Wednesday this week. And in talking that as well, we've also got our Spa 2.4 hours. Entries all open. It's on our website at the moment, all the information, but entries open 7 a.m. in the morning tomorrow for the Spa 2.4 hours, featuring all the GT3 cars in game. And that's for the 17th of July. That'll be run on a Saturday night. So 2 hours, 25 minutes racing behind the wheel with a ×10 time progression to simulate the full 24 hours at Spa. And can we topple last year's winner under Colonel Lloyd in that McLaren 650S. He was absolutely electric last year. Dado, I don't know if were you in the race last year?
Yeah, I was, but yeah, that was I don't know if that can be beaten that time.
That performance by Colonel Lloyd, it was almost like no one was really in the race. He pretty much lapped everyone. But as Jetto was just getting back together there. But the only guy that stayed on the lead lap after the 2.25 hours was Dredd. 501 or whatever it was.
Yep.
So yeah.
Okay, Jim.
And we know how fast Dredd was throughout the series that we ran last year. So for Colonel Lloyd to come out and just absolutely blitz him, it was like he had super slicks compared to everyone else's. Commander Jim, fastest sector 2.
He's caught up.
He's right on the back of Simo Racing now. So as we said, around about that 15 minutes to go, it always lights up with in our endurance racing, and we've got about 20 minutes remaining. And here's Commander Jim trying to get back that 3rd position from Simo Racing. He looks fairly strong here, Dado, as he comes onto the main straight.
Yeah, it looks like his car's really in the groove now.
Oh, what a run Commander Jim has. Can he make it the move down around the outside of turn 1? He hasn't been able to make it yet.
He has.
See the Janetta in the inside.
No, he hasn't. Yes, he has.
He's just been able to make the move there. Nice driving by both of the 2 drivers there.
Oh.
Now look what's happening with the LMP3s with Jetto and XD Cookie. I think Jetto had to hit again, so maybe for some damage. And I think Cookie's right next to him, so that's a battle for 3rd position in the LMP3s as well. But we'll stick on to this battle at the moment, as the timing has just corrected itself, so Cookie is a lot further behind.
Okay. Sato's stretched it out at 10 seconds now. Looks like it's just
So
about...
What can Simo do? What reply has he got? He's got a nice little run out of turn 10 up to turn 11 here, but it looks like the Aston Martin. Look at the Aston Martin go.
Yeah.
But there you can go, but it's got to be able to pull up. Look how, as you said, how agile the Janetta is. It's just got great turning and big corner speed.
Yep. Should make up ground here, but on the straight he should pull away. No, he's done nice there, Commander Jim. Great turn.
Yeah, you can just see that the Aston Martin, the long straights are absolutely killing the Janetta at the moment. So Commander Jim has finally found his mojo, and if he can stay into this this zone that he's in right now, you should see him finish here on the podium.
I think so. He looks smooth, looks under control.
I think he's a little bit too far away to try and challenge for 2nd, but I tell you what, he'll be very happy with 3rd.
Sure.
After the troubles he had early on in this 2nd session.
Any podium's a good podium.
Oh yeah, you've got to always savour those podiums. They're a hard thing to come by sometimes. You can have that luck and you can have those little moments where you just seem to rack up the podiums. Yeah, isn't it, Dado? You get these times, different series that you can't do anything wrong. You're on podium after podium, and then you come to some other series or something else, or everyone else just levels up that little bit better, and then you find where's these podiums? You can't even go nowhere near them.
And all the drivers get better at different stages.
That's right.
That's what makes it so good. It's anyone's game. Right, Nürburgring's got to step it up, I think, Woody. I don't know about you. Come on, boy.
Yeah, he's got to step it up a little bit, but it's a big task for him. That's not normally driving this car. He's normally in the Janetta GT4 car. I think this could be the car in front. I'm not too sure if this is his car of Dark Racing 40 at the moment.
I don't think so.
It's definitely a Janetta.
Is it? It might be.
It would be, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there it is, number 59. So he's just put a lap on his own car that he ran last night.
That's weird.
It's very weird as well, but they're both signed up with Janetta, so there you go. Well, except for Darky, actually, he's driving a Ligier with Sato, so I don't know how they released Darky to drive that Janetta.
I think Darky's by.
Maybe they were thinking that they said, oh, we'll let him drive that Janetta because he will hold up Nürburgring for the challenge here for the victory. So as Sato increases his lead, so does New South Wales at the moment, 26-0 over Queensland. So that should be getting close to wrapping things up. So they may not even need to worry about a third state of origin with all this COVID happening in New South Wales. It probably doesn't matter where they play, but there was talk though, Dado, maybe playing at Newcastle. I tell you what, that would get a. Yeah, that would be fantastic, I reckon. I think because Newcastle, the Novocastrians, they love their football.
For sure.
And they would absolutely pack that out as much as they can during the COVID restrictions. But talking about that, Simo's actually in the pits. He's had to go in the pits for some reason. Was it while we were on board? Was he on low fuel, or maybe he's had a spin? I'm not too sure. It doesn't look like he's had any damage.
They're not putting fuel in. Maybe tyres.
Maybe it was tyres. So anyway,
he was losing it a bit there. Looked like he had no traction. Remember when we were watching him?
Yeah, that's right. He just couldn't get the power out of the corners. You could just see that Mustang. I mean, not the Mustang, the Aston Martin just power out away from him. So could be right there. The tyres are absolutely cooked. So he probably found the safest option. Look, he doesn't want to bin it or have any problems and then have the Mustang of Dark Lord gain an easy position on him, so just he had the buffer to go for a pit. Maybe also hoping, I'm praying that Commander Jim may have tyre problems too and may need to pit in for some tyres later in this race. 14 minutes is still a long time in a endurance race. They've already been running for what do you say, an hour and 15 minutes or so. So they'd start getting a little bit doughy at the moment here right now, Dado.
Quite possibly. You're looking at Commander Jim's car. It looked pretty planted. So I think his tyres must be okay, but you never know. It's usually if you're pushing the car that little bit harder, that's when they'll cook here. But in saying that, Sato, he's been pushing. He's still doing a flat 28 now. 14-second gap.
Some impressive times by Sato. He's a hard man to challenge when he's on song.
Absolutely.
You were mentioning 28.5s there last night, Dado. So obviously a little bit faster than what Nürburgring is capable of doing at the moment. So hoping to see Sato may put a foot wrong here or there, but at the moment with 12 minutes remaining, you'd think that Sato's got this race sort of under control at the moment.
Well, he's got the opportunity to control it now. All he's got to do is be solid. He's got it won.
That's exactly right. Look. But saying that, he's just ran wide there with no reason to run wide. So obviously maybe a bit of aero wash when he turned in there with the Aston Martin in front of him. But these are the things that catch him out maybe that may cause an issue. The last thing he wants to do is put that into a tyre barrier. That'll be race over.
That's right. You can come off like that. That's not a big drama. He controlled it well.
That's right. As he's got a little bit of traffic in front of him, and including also XD Cookie as well. So he's got to have his wits about him at the moment. Yep. This part of the motor race.
Tread carefully if I was him.
They just can't seem to do anything wrong. They've won every single race so far. The two previous races they won at Road America.
Yes.
Pretty much got us by about 25 seconds after. We actually probably we had the wrong strategy there. We we only had the one pit in the first session, and we probably should have taken the two, and more than likely that Road America race could have been ours, but we learned our lesson there. And then at Nürburgring, again, they completed that race and beat us by about 40 seconds. But we're a lot closer here tonight, only 14 seconds off the lead, so the car has been strong all weekend.
True.
The Vumi Tweaks Racing Janetta, but just not quite there at the moment. In this final little stint, we were hoping that obviously the tyres of the Ligier in front here with the Sato would be just starting to wear out a little bit, and that little bit of extra pressure to make him drive hard, maybe overdriven the car a little bit. But
yeah, it'll be interesting to find out what he's running on.
Few signs there where he has run off, hasn't he? So he's still pushing a little bit. He's back in the 30s again. Obviously that was granted he had some traffic, so sometimes with Nürburgring.
I think you can do 30s on softs without them overheating, but as soon as you get below the 30s, if you're pushing it, well, we might, in our car, that left rear will just cook and you won't get the traction out of the corner.
That's right. Jetto just obviously looked like that. He's a lap, probably 2 laps behind actually the leaders at the moment. With XD Cookie roughly a lap behind Jetto, so he's sort of just cruising around for the last 10 minutes, watching the time go by, and waiting for the end of this race to finish on the podium. Geez, Logical Sports has done a good job. He's controlling this race. I thought Darky may have actually eaten into a bit of the time after their pit stops.
Yep.
But he's lost around about probably 7 seconds or so since the pit stops, Darky. So he hasn't quite bridged any gap. Maybe it's a bit of overdriving at the same time as well.
Can happen.
Janetta.
Yep. But Logical's always been solid. He's done a great job here. Stuck to it, done it.
Yeah, I think Matty Seekin, you'd have to give him praises as well, how he just set up that race in that first session as well. I know Nürburgring pitted for extra fuel at the end, which probably cost him the race, but even so, I think Matty may have been still challenging for the victory in the first session there regardless. Just taking that pit stop nice and early, get out of traffic, and then just run his own race and just kept punching out those numbers. It's a hard thing to do when you know you're pretty much nearly a lap down early on the race because you've taken that pit stop, and then you just got to just knuckle down and do practice laps pretty much.
Yep.
So you can,
look at that.
Darky, he was up on his fastest time.
Too.
See, and that's it. He's pushing, and that's what happens late in the race. I was just going to say he's into turn 7, and Illogical was up into turn 11. They were both at the top end of the circuit.
And it was an off, but it was costly time off, but no damage off. So if there was more race time, it wouldn't matter, but it does now. That Aston Martin, it's going pretty good.
Yeah, he's obviously forced Simo to push hard in that little middle stint and cook his tyres up, which we saw, and Commander Jim made easy work to make that position. Well, we actually had a good run off the final corner, but Simo Racing held down the inside of turn 1s and turn 2, but then Commander Jim was able to get him before we got into the tricky little complex of turns 4 and 5.
Yep.
And then Simo, the next lap after, I think it was, decided to come into pit because you could just see that Mustang just powering out of the corners. He had too much rear tyre grip compared to his car. So again, Commander Jim may have gone the hard tyres maybe, and that's why he's got that. Oh, it's a Mustang in the top of the screen.
Ouch.
It's just
that
found
was front on.
Yeah,
That's
found
damage.
the hand-cooked tyre walls there, and he's going to have to now probably either limp it home or come into the pits. But I say, depending on how he feels, the Dark Lord may just come in, put it in the pits to just get some repairs done.
He'll finish the race. 6 minutes to go, but it looks pretty trashy. The back,
Yeah, he'll finish the race.
The back looks good.
He's given the Pin Electron Racing team at least their allocated points by finishing the at least 70% race distance. So that's the main thing that they'll be looking forward to, and knowing that they're still amongst the hunt for some minor positions there come Rapuna Park.
For sure. But I'd be interested in the comments of Dark Lord. I reckon he'd be sweating driving that thing. Sweating. It's a tough job. For an hour and a half.
Tough job.
Oh yeah. Ooh.
But see, they were only roughly a second off the pace.
True.
In the Ford Mustang in practice at Rapuna Park, the pre-season testing that we did, and that was only a second actually off Matty Seeking in the Porsche, the P51 Sim Sport. So they're actually leading the championship at that moment in the class. So as we were predicting, that Rapuna Park is actually going to be really good round for the Ford Mustang.
Well, Woody, I'm glad you're jumping in for Rapuna Park, because you need to blitz it now, because I don't think we're going to be struggling points-wise.
Well, all we can do is hope for for a little bit of the worst to our fellow competitors, and we've got to try and make the most and get to the front. But it's going to be a hard race. It's been a hard championship all along, fighting the 15 border racing team. And
well,
I believe it's just going to be just as tough at Rapuna Park.
We're up against two of the best drivers. Don't worry
exactly
about that.
Right. They won Le Mans in the Porsche, #1 Porsche team at Le Mans last week. And they've got a very good record together, both Sato and Dark Racing 40.
They got the skill and the knowledge, mate.
I tell you what, Rapuna Park's going to be a tough race for everyone, all competitors. It's a short, tight circuit, and having the LMP3s trying to fight through the GT4 field throughout the race is just, you're not going to have a moment's rest at all, even if you catch them down the straight.
Sato's had an incident here. Oh, hang on. These tyres going on.
Yeah, we don't know, but he runs wide out of that first corner a lot out of turn 2.
Well,
so
he was 15 seconds in front when I last looked. But still.
Yeah, it was nearly 20. It was nearly 20 seconds actually. So he's running off track. So he's had actually slowdown penalties. See how he runs off the track there?
Yep.
That's him trying to actually get rid of the slowdown penalties without coming off the throttle. So as the Mustang there is looped it at the top of turn 7 of the hairpin, as he's just trying to regain control back onto the track. So Sato's pushing still pretty hard. He knows that there's still time in this race, that Nürburgring could actually figure in if he has more than a small moment. As Nürburgring's looking to put his fastest lap down here, if he can get a nice exit out of the final corner. Oh, he looks like he's just had to correct a little bit of oversteer.
Yep.
Actually, not the final corner, sorry. I thought that was the final corner, but that was up in turns 10 and 11. Turn 11, I think it was. So we should see this lap and one more to go. So if Nürburgring's going to do anything, he needs to do it now. 12-second gap, but he's not going to do anything. He's just going to have to hope that Sato makes a mistake. That's the only way anything can happen, but you never know.
Correct.
There's Sato is still going through traffic. He's got about 3 GT4 cars he's going to have to try and pass before the end of the race. So As you can just see them trying to put the power on, he's got no grip on those rear tyres at the moment.
I think we need another 10 laps, mate. Can we just adjust this?
They've calculated a 2 or 2 though, the guys there at in the Ligier.
For sure.
Both Dark Racing and Sado. As you can see, Sado's dropping his time. He's slower than what he has been going. But he knows he's got that time up his sleeve. So he'll be taking the white flag this time round. It'll be the last lap. So they would have completed 120 laps in total over the 3 hours here at Zhuhai International Circuit. So this will be the final lap.
The other winner in the back, well, 2B winner in the background. GT Force.
Yeah. Of the Logical Sports, was it?
Yep.
So he's got 2 more GT4s that he's going to have to negotiate this lap. And he's hitting them at the right part of the circuit at the same time. So I think Sado will be very thankful that that's where he's catching them. So he'll be able to get, I think this might be Simo in front of him. So he should be able to get him coming out of this corner before he gets up into turns 9 and 10. He's done that nicely, Sado.
That's a dream run.
Yeah, he was able to stay on the racing line the whole way there, so he doesn't want any dirty pickup on those tyres. We know that they're absolutely running on canvas. As just in the background there, we saw Simo losing control.
Oh. Looks damaged.
Looks a bit damaged, but he's got plenty of time over Darklaw, but we may just need to make sure we get on to Sado as he's about to enter the final corner of this race. And congratulations to both Sado Racing 15 and Dark Racing 40 in the number 15 Border Racing Ligier.
Well done, boys.
Sensational job. And unfortunately, I think I took off the end of race so they could do donuts, or can they do donuts? I don't know if they can.
I don't know.
The formation at the end for the final lap. I don't know the cool down lap. I don't think I actually selected that on because it looks like all the AI have taken control of them. So unfortunately, sorry guys to the drivers. They normally like to do a few donuts at the end. But there we see Logical Sports taking victory of the class of the GT4 class as well. Good drive by the P51 Sim Sports guys. Good substitute driver, reserve driver by Dark Racing 40, coming home second. And there you go.
Yeah, that's it. Well.
So that's the final, that's the penultimate round of our Team Endurance Championship. And we've got Sado 15 bringing home the Ligier in first position with Nürburgring 79. Doing a good job backing it up after driving the GT4 last night and jumping in to help the Vumi Tweaks Racing Janetta.
Yeah.
Coming home second, he'll be happy with that. And then Jetto 13 likewise helping out the P51 Sim Sports guys with Commander Cirrus not being able to take the seat tonight. And then a big special mention also to XD Cookie, finishing 4 laps down on his first out in here with ANZCRL Combined Racing League and one of our youngest members as well. We had a great race there, jumping into that. So we will look forward to seeing him again in any of our other future races. And then the GT4s. We got Logical Sports and Matty Seeking absolutely dominating that race this tonight and taking victory over Dark Racing 40 in the Janetta. Commander Jim, what a sensational drive by him, Dado, to actually take third from Simo Racing.
Was good.
Had some troubles early on and just kept his head down and battled hard throughout that middle stint and absolutely came up on trumps in the end. So that was a good podium for them.
I think his car got better as the race went on. Seemed it.
Yeah, in that Aston Martin, definitely. And then obviously Simo, and then Dark Lord again doing a double stint after driving in the P51 SimSports Janetta LMP3 car. He jumped in to help out as the as Devil X couldn't make couldn't negotiate the traffic in China, you would say, to get to the track to be
Exactly.
able to jump into the car. So Dark Lord hung around after eating a big hamburger and jumped into that Mustang and just motored around and got them to the end in fifth position.
Good on you, Dark Lord. But you needed a decent-sized hamburger to drive that car for an hour and a half.
I tell you what, though, I think he'll make it a little bit lighter once he hits the toilets after that run, though. He'd be absolutely stuffed by now. But anyway, so we're ANZCRL Combined Racing League, running here in Australia and New Zealand for you Xbox racers on Project Cars 2. I've been your host, Woody Lizard, and on board my teammate who's just finished second, Dado Racer. Thanks, buddy, for helping out tonight.
Thanks, Woody. I enjoyed it. Thank you.
And we'll be back live again for the final round at Rapuna Park over in New Zealand. It's going to be a sensational race between the battle for the lead of the LMP3 and also the GT4. So the championship is well and truly alive in both classes, so you will not want to miss that around 8 p.m. next Saturday for the session 1 at Rapuna Park on our ANZCRL Twitch channel. Until then, have a good week and be safe, all you guys in Sydney and the greater area with this lockdown. Take care and do everything we can to stay safe, and let's beat this COVID the best we can.
Thanks.
Cheerio.
Good night.